Alright everybody, game night here again, and we are in week 2 of the preseason in my 2019 Madden franchise. So we take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. So let's go ahead and get this game started. I hope to, in this game, get Kirk Cousins a little bit more into the passing game a bit, and hopefully establish a solid running game with Dalvin Cook and maybe with Latavius Murray and get the 1-2 punch going. Jacksonville is, or was rated, I think, in the top 2 or 3 defenses during the 2018 regular season. So it's going to be a good test for us. I know that they may not play their starters for much longer than I will. But we'll give it a shot and see what happens.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, it's a preseason matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. Leading the charge is the UCF product who hails from right there in the Orlando area in Altamont Springs, Blake Bortles.
And you can see why he was the number 3 pick when he came out in the NFL draft. 6'5", sturdy guy, strong arm. Led his UCF team to a big bowl victory over Baylor, and runs the ball way better than he's ever given credit for.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA, and now a great career in the NFL.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. From the gun, it's Bortles. And that is incomplete. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth, because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason before they make the final cut. Oh, yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
Here's Sherrills. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by a man making his first start in purple. The big offseason signing from Washington. It's Kirk Cousins.
I do hear some mild criticism of Kirk Cousins and his play the last few seasons in Washington, mainly because the team was just 24, 23-1. But I also saw a quarterback with an offensive line that essentially introduced itself to each other in the huddle before the first snap. In Seattle, gets one of the best defense in the NFL. Win that game with big plays late. This is a tough-minded, hard-nosed, gritty quarterback that tends to inspire a team to play better around him.
That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the first quarter.
And some of it comes from...
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week one, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play. And now a look at the offense for Jacksonville.
Let's take a look at tight end Austin Seferian-Jenkins, or ASJ as his friends and all announcers like to call him because it's a whole lot easier. Second tight end drafted in 2014, but production was really lacking until 2017 with the New York Jets. Had 50 catches, which was more in his 2+ combined years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Going for the deep ball. And it'll be intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively, getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a second down throw for Cousins. Open man here is Conklin. And down he'll go at the 25. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Throwing is Cousins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. This, of course, week 2 of the preseason, but we did have a couple of teams that got the extra game. The Hall of Fame game was played on a Thursday this year between Arizona and Dallas.
Yeah, and they welcomed in this year's Hall of Fame class of 2017. And what a class it was. Morton Anderson, the kicker, Terrell Davis, Kenny Easley, Jerry Jones, Jason Taylor, LaDainian Tomlinson, and Kurt Warner.
The Jaguars getting set to go. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
Where you think 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, as some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like a night 4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now a play fake here on first down. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they'd left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter. But I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
On is Josh Lambo now for the Jaguar field goal. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Lambo will put this one through, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
And he's able to get up here to the 26. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
third and short yardage. Cousins. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. On fourth down, they do snap it to Cousins. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Jags take over in terrific field position.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Play fake. Cousins. The throw left side complete to Treadwell. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. It's caught by Treadwell. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Now Cousins. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. We remind you coming up at halftime. Charles, you want a way to enhance your Saturday?
I do.
I know you do. I've got the thing just for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Here we go.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. Bortles going to run the draw with Fournette. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And the Jaguars send out their punter. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cousins again. And his throw here is incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They just do get the play off. Now Cousins. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Normally, I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already shown in the first half that they'll go for it on 4th down.
No, they should have already said punt it. Punt it. Head coach should have already made that decision.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is brought in at the 21. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Bortles now on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, here's Yeldon. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Tackle made by Everson Griffin.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. So a couple of field goals, that's all. No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick? Please, thank you. All right, let's go. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Simeon out to his left. His throw incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Here's Simeon now on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Morgan. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. They go play action here on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Simeon. Over the middle. He's got Treadwell. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. He got 29 yards that time. Now, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
To throw is Simeon. They'll roll him out right. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Off of play action, Simeon. He'll buy some time right. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Trevor Simeon, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Forbath able to convert the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get there.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Robinson, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
A first throw for the backup Kessler. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Green, 39.
On 3rd down, Kessler. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 15. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Simeon rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference?
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're a man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Yeldon, down right around the 25. David Perry that time in on the stop.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his 4th carry of the game, and collectively has in total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now. On second down, Kessler. That is caught at the 7. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. In for the score. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Looking to pass, Kessler. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. On second down, here's Simeon. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A good pick up there, 26 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Here's Simeon. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Morgan. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Here's Simeon. And this is going to be incomplete. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. And that makes them now 0 for 3 on fourth down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on fourth down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
A first down carry now for Yeldon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They keep it with Yeldon on first down. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. There it is with the Treadwell, complete. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll drop to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 16. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They run again on first down, Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now back to throw. Open man here is Coughlin. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion. Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. DeJuan Smoot in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. Touchdown, Vikings! A big play there. 44 yards. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now a handoff to Yeldon, and he'll get this one up to the 26. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.
All right, guys, the Minnesota Vikings lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars 24-14. What a really tough game played by myself. Kyle Sloter ended up being the better of the quarterbacks, 5 for 9, 441 yards and a touchdown. Trevor Siemian was hurt. Looked shaky at best early, but did have the rushing touchdown. Kirk Cousins finishes for 6-15 for a whopping 39 yards. didn't do much better on the ground. Cook 7 for 3. Trevor Siemian 3 for 25, and of course that touchdown. Receiving wise, Treadwell having an amazing game. 6 receptions for 138 yards. Looking really good here in this preseason game. Defensively, we did pick up a couple of sacks with Robinson and Barr picking up a sack, and then we had Xavier Rhodes had that beautiful interception in the end zone earlier in the first half of the game. We'll go ahead and take a look at everything that has occurred here. We do have one new injury. We believe that is Simeon. No, it is not. It is Josh Andrews who's out with a broken thumb, and Hercules Matafafa is out with a complete ACL tear for 27 more weeks. Fantastic.
Start your week by installing your game
We'll take a spin around the NFL here before we finish with this video. Let us go ahead and look at the transactions that have occurred. The Broncos have traded Shane Ray to the Lions, and the Broncos get a round 2 pick in 2020 and a round 4 pick in 2020. Eric Decker signs with the Giants. Alex Boone signs with the Buffalo Bills. And that's pretty much all the moves going into week 3. Let's go ahead as well and take a look. We had an injury bug here this last game. Let's see if we can... Apologize here, hit free agents by accident. Let's go ahead and see if we could see what the injury report is for the rest of the NFL. Zach Miller looks like he'll be out for the season with a fractured kneecap. Like lots of fractured kneecaps. Gabe Martin will be out with an Achilles tear. Hunter Henry out with a complete ACL tear. So a few early injuries here for some of these teams in the NFL. Lots of ACL tears and fractured kneecaps. It appears to be the Posey Whitaker is out, looks like, for the season. Marshawn Lynch out for 3 weeks with a shoulder tear. Chris Carson is out 3 weeks with the shoulder tear. Ryan Shazier is out with a broken tailbone. Jalen Samuels is out with a forearm fracture. Pittsburgh really getting bitten by that injury bug early here in the preseason. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and end there, and I will see you all in week number 3 when we take on the Seattle Seahawks.